Okay, today we are going to be doing chapter 13 of William of Occam's Summa Logicae, which is called On Univocal and Equivocal Terms. So first, we're going to go over some types of equivocation and unification. There are two types of equivocation that Occam identifies here. One is called equivocation by chance, and the other was equivocation by similarity. So equivocation by chance is when two different things just happen to have the same name. An example would be a baseball bat or a bat the flying rodent. These are both called bats, they're even spelled the same way, but they signify different things. So this is equivocation by chance. The example that Occam gives is two men who are both named Socrates. You could have two men named Socrates, but it's just by chance that they're both named Socrates. It's not by any inherent quality. The second is equivocation by similarity, and this type of equivocation is when two things seem the same, but they aren't really the same in any way. That would be an example of similarity. Then finally, we have univocals by indifferent signification of multiple things. Now, this isn't a type of equivocation. This is what it means for something to be univocal. Is just to indifferently signify multiple things which are actually the same in some way. And then he goes on to say these classifications don't just go for names, but for grammatical categories as well, such as like nouns, pronouns, adverbs, all of that. And then finally, we have a little bit more on unification definition in conceptual terms. So not all unification is by definition. And an example you could give for this is simple terms. The word being is a simple term. It's impossible to define the word being in simpler terms because however you define it, it will include the concept of being in it. So you would be defining it by itself. However, we understand what is meant by being, so there's this simple term being, which can't be defined, but which can be used univocally. And then finally, conceptual terms are not subject to this univocal equivocal distinction. And the reason for this is that conceptual terms naturally signify the thing that they represent. So like the impression on your soul of a tree will always represent a tree. That can't like accidentally represent something else. If it changes its signification in any way, or if it includes two different things under its signification that aren't actually univocal, then what you've actually got are two concepts. So it's impossible for there to be an equivocation in mental terms, only in conventional terms.